Hello, I'm Leslie, and today we're going to be making granola. This is always one of my go-to snacks for an easy breakfast. You know, you really can use it with anything. It also has a very nice tang to it because today we're going to be using cranberries in it. You can have it as a parfait, breakfast cereal, whatever you want to use it for. This particular granola recipe today is going to be crispy, semi-sweet, and delicious. Without further ado, let me show you how to make it. All right, now we're going to go over our ingredients. First thing we have is some butter. This is about 5.5 tablespoons of butter. Next, we have some good honey. If you're going to cook with honey, always make sure it's the good kind. I have a little bit of brown sugar, about 1/3 cup. Then we have our vanilla extract. We can't forget our baking soda. Some people don't really put baking soda inside of their granola, but we want a little bit of lift. Bit of salt. Got to have some salt just to taste. And of course, we got to have our oats. Got to have those oats. This is going to be one of the things that's going to bind our granola together. I'm going to add some coconut because I personally love coconut, so I'm not going to leave out the coconut. And I know some people like raisins, but I love craisins or dried cranberries. And for my nuts, I'm going to choose to have some chopped almonds. And lastly, I have some pistachio nuts. Pistachio is also one of my favorite nuts, just like the almonds. But I like them actually for different reasons. Pistachios and me have a very good love relationship. And that's all of our ingredients. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So I'm going to grab my large bowl. And to that, we're going to grab our oats. And I'm going to go ahead and add them to the bowl. I have our pistachios. Make sure we get all of those out of there. Have our chopped almonds, and also the pistachios were chopped as well. We have the cranberries. And I have our shredded coconut. I'm gonna grab a large spoon, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just mix all my ingredients together. You do want to make sure you are getting everything incorporated because you do want to make sure, nobody wants to just bite into one single item, you know? I don't know, to me, granola is all about the combination of ingredients. Which is funny, like I'm talking about this as if like I used to have granola when I was little because I really didn't. My parents didn't really make granola and things like that. Which is actually one reason why I probably like to bake anyway. Sometimes when you didn't always experience certain things as kids, you want to kind of experience them more as an adult. Okay. This looks about right. I have everything incorporated. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to place it to the side. All right, now we have to make the sauce to bind it together. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my eye, and I have a medium saucepan on it. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this to medium. You know, this thing is about like 3, so we're gonna put that on medium, which is about 350 degrees. And what I'm gonna do for that, I'm gonna take my 5.5 tablespoons or 1/3 cup of butter, and I'm gonna go ahead and add it to our saucepan. What we're gonna do is go to melt this. Did I grab a spoon? Okay, I did not grab a spoon. 1 second. All right, I retrieved the spoon. All right, our butter's now melted. Next, we're gonna add our brown sugar. I'm just taking this off here because it's getting a little too hot and I don't want this to burn. We're not trying to make brown butter. So I'm just gonna stir this and get that brown sugar melted. We're gonna make sure all our brown sugar is very incorporated. And then I have our honey. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just pour in the honey. This is about 1/3 cup of honey. And I love honey because it gives the granola a very nice flavor. Make sure I'm cleaning out all that honey because I don't want to waste it. Honey is not cheap. But then at this point today, nothing really is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stir this until all that sugar and that honey melts into that butter. It is kind of a slow process, but it eventually does come together because we're making I wouldn't say this is a simple syrup technically, because I guess technically we have other things because not just sugar and water, but we're making a syrup that's gonna go along with this. And this is gonna be our binder to hold our granola together. And also, if you wanna see videos just like this, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. I'm actually starting to get some bubbles in this, which is actually a good sign because that means that our sugar and our honey is gonna melt a lot easier. But I do wanna go ahead and keep this moving. I don't wanna let it burn by any means. So I am gonna go ahead and turn the heat down just a little bit since we're starting to get bubbles. And I think that is about it because I don't have any visible sugar in it anymore. Everything is incorporated properly. And I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat off. And I'm gonna grab a kitchen mitt. I'm gonna push this to the side. I'm gonna put the mitt down. That way I don't have to worry about burning my counter. I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna keep stirring. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add, this is about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Because we gotta have some flavor to this thing. Now this is about 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this into my syrup. But I do wanna go ahead and stir this very well because now it's gonna start to coagulate very much. This is almost like kind of like you're making like caramels. And then we add our salt, which is about a 1/2 teaspoon. All right. As you can see, it's starting to plump up. That's exactly what we want. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my granola and I'm gonna pour my syrup mixture right into the granola. I'm gonna make sure I get all that syrup out of the pan. This is one of those things where you kind of have to work quick because you don't want this to just plain set up without it actually getting incorporated. I think that's about right. Got a little bit more in that corner. There we go. I'm gonna grab this right here. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and start mixing this right into the granola because I want to get all of it covered. There we go. Plus, I don't really want any dry spots in here as well, so we want everything covered in there. This is getting kind of sticky, so I'm gonna use my other spoon just to clean that off. There we go. So I'm just gonna keep mixing and spreading. Oops, I'm getting that everywhere, so but 3-second rule, so. There we go. And after a while, you just kind of just mush it together. Just use your spoon just to mush it. Because I want every last one of those oats coated in the syrup. One of my techniques with doing it, I just dig to the bottom of the bowl and kind of do it as a folding action as well. Because one thing about these oats, they kind of absorb everything. It is normal if this looks a bit dry though as well. Because everything should just be slightly coated with the syrup mixture. All right, I got all my granola just well mixed. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put this over the side real quick. I have a cookie sheet. I got some parchment right here, so I'm just gonna if I can get this off of here. I'm just gonna pull the length of my cookie sheet. Oh, we're gonna do it rough. We're just gonna spread it right there. Then I have some butter cooking spray. Just gonna spread it right on here because we don't want this to stick. Now that's our prepared pan. I'm gonna take our granola and we're just gonna pour it right out on the pan. There's no fancy way of doing this. We just want to get it on the pan at this point. Oops. There we go. Get all of it out of the bowl. Because I don't really like wasting it a little bit. I know like some people don't really scrape bowls, but I do. Get all of that out of there. Because I mean, we went through the work of making this, so we may as well get it all right. Put that bowl to the side right there with my spoon. Oh, here it is right here. So let me clean off my spoon, my big spoon, I guess. Because technically I have 2 spoons. And this is one of the best granola recipes you're gonna find anywhere. There we go, just put this to the side. Some people use a spatula, but I'm just using my spoon, just gonna push that down flat. I like spreading it all the way to the ends. Because we want a nice bed for our granola. This kind of like a thicker area, so I'm gonna spread that out. I'm gonna grab my spoon again and push this down. And I want to just push it together because I want the granola to be kind of crunchy. One of the things we can do to get that is to make sure it's kind of flat. Because we want to be able to break our granola up. Still have to kind of wrestle with it to get all this sugar off of my spoon. All right. We're just gonna call that good enough. So now we're gonna go ahead and bake this on 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 8 minutes. I like to do like 8-minute intervals, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bake it for the first 8 minutes, turn it, and then I'm gonna bake it for another 8 minutes. And we'll see if it's brown enough. I'll see you then. All right, and I am back. So I have the baked granola. As you can see, it is golden brown. I did give it just a slight little bit longer, probably about 2 minutes longer. Like I said, I did 8 minutes on one way, and then I turned the pan and then put it 8 minutes the other way. So now that we got this fresh out the oven, we do want to take our spoon or spatula again, and we're just gonna press it right there into the pan like this. It is slightly soft right here, but it does harden as it cools. So you want to kind of compact the granola. And that's what we're doing right here. I will take it off the cookie rack, but this thing is still hot and I don't want to mess up my table. But I am just pressing it into the pan. All right, so that's pressed into the pan right there. The next thing we want to do is let this cool completely on the rack. Once it's cool, then we'll remove it from the pan. All right, our granola is now cool. So I'm just gonna take it off the cookie sheet. So we're gonna put that over there. I'm gonna take the parchment paper and I'm gonna get the granola off like this. You see it is crumbling now. And so now we're just gonna go ahead and break this up. You can see look how that breaks. Look at that. Look at that. It's almost like nuggets. Some people like theirs broken up completely. I don't. I like to get mine into kind of granola nuggets. And as you can see, even on the bottom part, it is golden brown. So look how that, this is gonna be so good. Look at that, just nice granola nuggets, just golden brown. Look at that. So we're just breaking these nuggets up. I'm gonna continue to do like this. I like to wait until I get all my granola broken up. Look at that, look at that. They just feel right there. And that's just a nice nugget of granola. And I think just making things like granola is kind of fun, you know, especially this part. Like if you have small kids, I'm sure they're gonna love like being able to just break up the thing. It's kind of like making peanut butter. Yeah, it's fun kind of stirring everything together, but you get the maximum fun. Now the next thing, since we got all our granola broken up now Now we're just gonna go ahead and serve this up. So I'm gonna move this to the side. I'm gonna get rid of this pan and everything. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna got my cutting board here. And one of the things I like always serving granola in is a nice mason jar. Some people do mason jars that are a little bit bigger, but I'm just gonna use this one. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start just filling this up. Look at that. Just filling it up. I'm gonna just fill it halfway to the top. I think I might just fill it all the way to the top. What'll be real nice, I'm just gonna take a couple of pieces, just put it right there. And put it all over my cutting board right there. That'll look really nice. Look at that. There we go. Just look at, I'm just putting the granola just all around my jar right there. Look how nice that looks. Probably want a little more. Yeah. And that's it. You know, that is a perfect thing of granola. You got those nice nuggets. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. You can use it for parfaits. I don't know. You know, just eat it yourself. Toss this in some milk and just eat it almost like cereal. Perfect. Now, of course, we got to give this a try. It's crispy, semi-sweet, very tasty. I don't know, even if you want to go like on a hike, this would be perfect. Because I would just like put this in a bag and you have a quick and easy snack. But yeah, nice. All right, guys, that's it for me. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for my next video, and we'll actually come up with something to use with this granola. This is simply delicious. But yeah, you guys have a great one. And I'm just gonna go ahead and enjoy my granola.